everybody, welcome to Rebellious Ruth. Yes, this evening we are going to be reviewing Wonder Woman. So my fiance and I actually decided we're going to go and do what we normally do every December when one of these amazing blockbuster movies comes out and go to our local IMAX. Well, it was a public holiday, and when we looked online, we thought, no, surely we won't get tickets because, it's a DC film. I mean, every other year we've been, whether it's been to Star Wars or Endgame, Marvel Endgame, or something like that, the cinemas have been full. And yes, I know there's a pandemic, but you kind of think, well, people will still maybe go. Let me tell you, there were tons of seats. Usually it's chock-a-block, but it was social distance, obviously wear your mask, and every other seat you could sit in. And I mean, a cinema that usually takes close to 300 people, if there were 30 on a premiering DC movie, it was a lot. So yeah, but anyway, let's get to the movie. I really hope you guys get to it. We're going to play a short clip, and just to give you a little teaser about what the movie's all about. So here we go.
The way I fly, they will never find us.
I forgot to tell you.
What?
Radar.
Will they shoot at us?
Barbara, what did you do?
I'm not so keen on this one. I figure you are, but...
And yeah, that was a bit of a teaser there. So I tell you what, this movie for me it's a great date movie. You've got the gorgeous woman for the men, you've got action, there's even a little bit of romance. I highly recommend it as a first date film, or you and your angel or your other half just want to go and get out and see something different. This is the movie to go and see. It's got humor in it. It also has the most beautiful, stunning, she is Israeli beautiful, Gal Gadot. Some people say Gal Gadot, so in Hebrew it should be pronounced Gal Gadot, but I know that it's difficult for people, so Gal Gadot, she is just a breath of fresh air. I think if she was in movies with no plot, no story, she would be beautiful. I mean, you could just watch her for hours. She really is. She's got such stage presence. You just feel like you get to know her. She's just so incredible. And I know there were issues with her before. I was like, is she going to make it, is she going to be a good Wonder Woman? Personally, I would have maybe thought someone like Megan Fox would have been better. But hell no, she has pulled it off without a hitch. She is incredible and so beautiful. She's just breathtaking, actually, to see. It's incredible. So yes, some of the other stars were Kirsten Wiig. She's better known for her role in Bridesmaids. Tons of fun. She actually really did this quite well, playing the antagonist. Also, another antagonist was Pablo Pascal, who you will remember from Game of Thrones. And yeah, he's quite incredible. A new role of his, if you don't know, spoiler alert, Mandalorian. He's actually the Mandalorian, so I hope I haven't spoiled that for anyone. But yeah, he plays the main antagonist, Max Lord, and yeah, it was really, really a great acting, good show. Yeah, I enjoyed it thoroughly. Also great people in it, like the stunning what's her name, Robin Wright Penn. Yeah, Robin Wright. I always get confused. Excuse me. Frog in my throat. 1 second. Yeah, Robin Wright Penn. She is, of course, stunning, and she's looking as fine as ever. You might remember her from Santa Barbara, and also Forrest Gump. She was in that. And yeah, and of course, it's directed by what's her name again? Sorry, Patty Jenkins. Yes, Patty Jenkins, who also directed Monster, and with Charlize Theron. Don't know why my voice is struggling. Anyway, and yes, and she's brings a freshness. The movie basically starts where Diana's now living in 1984, and it takes you back to her as a child, and it shows that life, which we didn't see in the first movie, where we only saw Themyscira, otherwise known as Paradise Island. And yeah, it's just amazing to see, like, you see like a game happening, like some sort of sport, and you see how this child tries to compete, and she's got such a force in her to want to do well, and she does, like, she makes a mistake being not perfect and needing to work on herself, and it teaches her a lesson that will help her in the future, and to make her into wise Diana Prince. And yeah, so then we see her, of course, in a mall in 1984 catching some bad guys, and the costumes and the scenery and the sets are just spot on. In fact, some of the comedic relief in the film is, of course, the horrendous outfits that were around in the 80s. Oh, my soul. I can't actually believe people dressed like that. Tons of laughter, fun. Yeah, so Blast from the Past, great storyline. And yes, there is perhaps there may or may not be a sneak peek from Chris Pine. He might be making another appearance, but you'll have to see the movie, and I don't want to give too much away. But yeah, I guess the main role of the movie is you have someone who wants power. You have this antagonist, you have this villain who basically wants to improve himself and make himself better. And he gets power mad. All right. And there's a very cool sort of, I love Greek mythology, and I love the way it incorporates into the movie. And of course, the whole idea of Themyscira and Diana being molded, the original cartoon comic series, which was made in, I think, 1941. Basically, she's made out of clay and molded by Zeus and her mother, Hippolyta. I don't know if I've said that right. I hope so. Hippolyta. And yes, and she's this demigoddess, and it's incredible. And I mean, I talk about her making a mistake as a child, but at the end of the day, if there's anyone perfect that people have resonated with, or especially women have resonated with, it's been Diana Prince, Wonder Woman, throughout the ages. She's for justice, she's fair, she's caring, she's kind, she does the right thing, she's sophisticated. These are all things that sort of resonate for feminism, but also show that women want to be independent, women want to bring something more to the table. And she also has a very soft nature, which is maybe more sort of the posing feminine and individuality and sort of male figures with her amazing outfits and her fighting and warrior skills and her just, she's got such presence, and she's always there, and she's always willing to jump in and be the heroine. And yeah, so those were some of my ideas. And I think, so you have this villain, right, who was this power hungry villain, and he's got his own agenda. And of course, like in life, like I think a lot of us have learned this year, especially being 2020, that we've had to make sacrifices, and we've had to also realize what's important to us. Another idea in the story, she basically says this monologue, and I unfortunately couldn't find the description of it or the actual monologue, and but it just, I felt so connected to the message, because it talks about fear, and it talks about how people allow fear to overcome themselves. And I think it's so important that right now we don't allow fear to take hold of us, especially now with this pandemic that's happening. So if you want to go and see a movie, I mean, obviously if you have comorbidities, or you're not, or you're fearful, or I don't know, it's your choice. I'm not telling everyone to go and get sick now or whatever, but there's still a life to live. And I think that's what's powerful about the movie, you know. And even though she has to make the ultimate sacrifice as a woman in this movie for herself, and I think that's one thing that most women have in common, is that when we have children, when we have families or career, or you know, we sacrifice sometimes so much, and maybe even the things that we really want for ourselves. And I think that's the message of being a woman, and showing kindness and showing things that are important. So yeah, a little bit of interesting facts. So Wonder Woman was actually made by a psychologist called Marston. There was a movie out by it. I didn't have time to check it out, but I remember watching it, and he had a polyamorous relationship with 2 other women, and he created Diana, Princess of Themyscira, or Paradise Island, because he wanted to show how powerful women could be, and how women weren't being supported enough. I mean, one of the cartoons that came out, which was a remake for the 1910s, sort of post World War one of the storylines was that they were a leading front for the suffragettes, and how she was seen as a lamp to feminism in a way. And unfortunately, in the after the Second World War, the comic was basically poo-pooed, because everyone said it was a promotion of lesbianism. And yeah, but thank God now Patty Jenkins has enabled us to see Wonder Woman through the eyes of, I guess, this beautiful, soft, intelligent, perfect woman. And I think all of us need to strive for that. It's something in our daily lives that we take for granted, where, you know, there's so many stereotypes about women, and it's so important to be authentic and be true. So I think it's a fantastic date movie, and I recommend that you all go and see it. And if not see it, I don't know, on HBO Max, download it, stream it, however you get it, and hopefully, yeah, it will all be great and you'll enjoy it. I did. And I sort of think out of 10, I'd give it a 7.5. Yeah, it was 2.5 hours. I think 2 hours and 36 minutes, but it went by really quickly. At one stage, it sort of dragged a little bit, but it was action, and it was romance, and it was just fantastic. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I didn't feel like I was sitting in a movie house for 2.5 hours. So yeah, enjoy, guys. Hope you have a great December, and say goodbye to 2020. Anyway, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And yeah, I hope to see more of me and the things I like to talk about. Cheers. TTFN, everybody. Bye.